Strike edition of Top Fives?
I am, and as much as I wanted to put Rich Strike in my top five
Yeah.
upsets, it didn't make it.
Tell me of the five that you have. I'm going to tell you my sports. I'm not going to give them to you yet, but I'm going to let you go first from 5 to 1. I've got, let's see, 1, 2. I've got 2 soccer, 1 tennis, 1 football, and 1 hockey. The hockey's obvious, for crying out loud.
Well, yeah, we probably have a few of the same here. I've got a
Oh,
basketball, a football, a boxing, a
basketball.
hockey, and a soccer.
Oh. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we'll go 5 to 1 here. Top 5 sports upsets of all time. Number 5 comes from the world of college basketball, and it is UMBC beating Kyle Guy's Virginia
No!
Cavaliers as the current only 16 seed to beat a 1 seed in NCAA tournament history. Big ol' upset. Of course, they lost the next round, but still crazy. Still never happened again. Never happened before, and we'll see. It may happen again. We'll see.
Not to ruin your parade here, but that was motivation, as Kyle Guy said, to win the championship the next year.
Totally fine with me. I'm
Compared
glad
to
because
our,
the year
as
they
heard
played
on our show.
the year they played Texas Tech, I had them, so that was good. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, number 4 comes from the world of football, and it is Broadway Joe Namath. You guys remember this? If you were alive in 1969, Broadway Joe and his Jets were, I believe, 19-point underdogs to the Johnny Unitas-led Colts. And Joe Namath said, "We're going to win. I guarantee it." Led to a string of guarantees, some that have worked, some that have not. But the Joe Namath-led Jets beat the Colts in Super Bowl number 3, their last Super Bowl for the New York Jets there.
I'm going to have to do it again. Fun fact, I don't know if you read this. Did you know only one sports book, I believe, had like them as like as an odds?
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of not a ton of books that even wanted to have them on the board at that point.
I believe I read that. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Number 3 comes from the world of boxing, and it's our boy Mike Tyson, but he's not on the good end of this one. It's Mike Tyson getting KO'd by Buster Douglas in Japan, laying on the mat as Buster Douglas, a 50 to 1 underdog in some spots, beat the champ. I mean, the guy, one of the scariest men on the face of the earth, down on the mat. Buster Douglas got him.
That's huge in boxing, 50 to 1.
Yep, absolutely. It's huge in anything, but yeah. Number 2, obviously, for me, is the Miracle on Ice. USA beating Russia in the 1980 Olympics. A lot of the young amateur guys beating the big bad Russian team, especially in the height of the Cold War. Of course, we've got to go with the Miracle on Ice. It flip-flopped with me back and forth from number 1, but ultimately I went number 1, 2016 Premier League at 5,000 to 1 odds. Leicester City wins the Premier League incredibly. I remember being here in Vegas when Leicester City was playing for the championship, and so many of their fans were here. It was such an incredible experience to be able to share that with them. I don't know crap about the Premier League, but just being with people who have just been in that underdog role, and for their team to just be able to do something like this was pretty insane, pretty incredible. So that took the number 1 spot with the honorable mention for me. I think going to Rich Strike. I really tried to find a spot for him in the top 5, so he'll get my honorable mention.
The horse named upset was, I think, a bigger odds anyways.
Well, maybe so, but these are all the ones that came to my mind. I will be full disclosure, I didn't do a single bit of research. I woke up at like 6:54 today. These are all off the top of the head.
I'm surprised, because I actually did my research on this. I'm surprised that you riled those off so easily.
I'm an old man. I've seen a lot.
That's pretty good, though. So I want to mention that Mike Tyson did not make my list because of the fact I believe boxing one hit could get anybody. Although I did take that into consideration, considering how big it was for everyone else's list. It did not make mine, but I do get it. Obviously, Miracle on Ice makes my list, but where's it at? We'll have to find out. And number 5 for me is Leicester City. I kind of like try to make this one higher, but to me, Leicester City is 5,000 to 1. Yes, they got into the league as a relegation. By the way, I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That's even more impressive. But $5,000 to 1 is just God. That's insane money.
Can you imagine just putting $100 on that?
Oh lordy, give me a
you'd
break.
make $500,000.
Why wouldn't you? Like, should I do that?
That's what I
No,
did. That's what I did with the Vegas Golden Knights when they were 500 to 1 to win the cup that first year. So
look at you. Wow.
yeah, I hedged out of it, but obviously good because they didn't win. But I
Right.
did definitely didn't make $50,000
I don't know.
or no, whatever it is, 500,000. No, 50,000. 50,000. I definitely
All
didn't
right.
make 50,000.
Number 4, the end of Roger Federer. Beaten in 2009 at the U.S. Open, Roger Federer was beaten by 20-year-old Juan Martín del Potro. It's Potro's only major win, and since then, Roger Federer has had one more major than you and me combined. So that's insane. Like, this 20-year-old knocked him off, and he's only done it one more. That's insane to me. That was just the end of Roger Federer. And I'm a Roger Federer fan, by the way. In terms of if I watch tennis, it's Roger Federer or Nadal at the French Open.
But wasn't that one more major? Didn't he beat Nadal?
I think so. I think that was his last one. Yeah.
So I mean, I can get down with that one. I don't like that one on the list as much.
Ooh. Number 3, the imperfect season. New
Yeah, I had a
York
feeling this would
Giants
find its way on there.
beating Patriots in Super Bowl 42 as 12-point underdogs. And the Patriots were, of course, 18-0. Ho hum, Randy Moss, ho hum.
So for that one, if I could interject, the only reason it
Word.
did, and as an objective person, it's definitely a huge upset. The only reason it didn't make my list really was because in Week 17, the Giants actually almost ended their perfect season.
Oh, that was awesome seeing that on the Tom Brady documentary too.
So for me, I thought the Giants, based on what they did in Week 17, still had a chance.
Yeah, but everyone was like, "Oh, well, that's just the Patriots sleeping." Blah 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 blah.
Maybe so, but I'm just saying there were foundations built into that potential upset.
That's fair. Number 2, the Miracle on Ice. That's all I'm going to say because you already hopped on it. 1980, be the Soviet Union. You call it Russia. Number 1. This one might shock you. Proper English. It's a shot at my British friends. As 500 to 1 odds, the 1950 USA soccer team defeated England 1-0 at the World Cup. Now, what's interesting about this, USA soccer had lost their last 7 international matches, 45-2 combined. And their goalie was a hearse driver from Missouri named Frank Borgi, who shut out the English. Take thought for your fish and chips, mate. Listen, the hearse driver from Missouri, that had to top my list. I'm sorry. That was awesome.
So that was a World Cup match, so I can get
Yeah.
down on that.
There was 45-2 in the last set. They weren't supposed to win anything.
No, that means they were giving up an average of 6 goals a game.
They were 7-2 aggregate or whatever. That's insanity. Wish I was
Okay.
alive.
As I say, I mean, it's fair. The only one I wasn't alive. Well, actually, I wasn't alive for 2 of mine, so I guess that's a
Right.
fair assessment there.